Hi, I'm Ian Merton, driver and anxiety specialist, and in this video I'm going to share a really effective and really quick way for you to overcome your driving anxiety. But first of all, I'm going to explain the kind of science behind it. So what's happened at some point is that you felt anxious behind the wheel, whether that's been a panic attack or just something's triggered your anxiety. And then what's happened is that in that moment, your brain has opened a file, if you like, in a part of your brain that's a bit like a filing cabinet. It's called your hippocampus. And it's put in there a file called Driving is Dangerous. The file is made up of three different components. It's made up of a visual component, i.e. what you saw. It's made up of an auditory component, which is the internal dialogue, which is the thoughts that you were having, okay, and it's made up of a kinesthetic aspect, which is the feeling of anxiety at the time. So what happens is that little snapshot, it's either a still photograph or very often like a moving image, is held within this file within your brain, and its job really is to try and keep you safe. It's basically saying, if I encounter something like this again, then I'm going to trigger my fight, flight, freeze response to keep me safe. And that's exactly what it can do. So if you then revisit that situation in real life, so you're taking in information through your senses all the time, and you encounter that same scenario again, and it matches what's in the filing cabinet, then it's like a game of terror snap. So those two things match, and then your brain triggers your fight, flight, freeze response, which is the dump of adrenaline, which is where you get the increased heart rate, the increased breathing rate, the sweatiness, and the like maybe churning stomach, something like that. So what we need to do is we need to change up the components that's held in this file. Okay. Think about it like this. If we were to make chocolate cake, we would need some key ingredients, right? Maybe eggs, flour, butter, milk, sugar. And if we followed the recipe all the time, we cooked it for an hour in the oven, we'd always get chocolate cake. Yeah, and we could do that repeatedly, day after day after day. So that's what's happening at the moment, is the components, the visual, auditory, and kinesthetic components are like the components of the recipe. They match the experience that you're having in real life, and those two things, okay, create the anxiety. But if we change up the ingredients of the chocolate cake, say we only use one egg instead of two, and we put the cocoa powder in first before the eggs, etc., etc. Now you can then cook that even in the oven for half an hour, but you won't get chocolate cake because you change the components. And that's what we do with this technique that we're doing now. We're going to change up the components so that your brain doesn't pattern match. Okay, so I'll talk this through, and then the best thing to do is probably then come back to the video and try it out later on. So the thing that you need to do is you need to close your eyes down and bring back a memory. And you can use three memories. So you can either use the first time that you experienced driving anxiety, the worst time, or the most recent. Okay, we're going to use all three, but just choose one to begin with. So choose a memory, close your eyes down, and then imagine that you are reliving that experience. So see it as you did at the time. Now, for many people, this is maybe just like a little moving image. For many people, they're looking out through a windscreen. So it's as if you're looking at it, experiencing it again, looking out through the windscreen. For many people, it's panoramic. In other words, they can see around the memory. It's not contained in like a frame, something like that. Okay, so the first thing to do, and quite often it's in some kind of color as well. Okay, so simple things to do. change the picture so it's black and white. And then what I want you to do is kind of put it in a frame. So if you have a look, I've got like a picture here. So you want to put it in like a frame. So it's like a still picture with a black border around it, and then push it out. So it's around about 10 to 15 centimeters away from you. Make it still. So it's like you've got this still black and white photograph inside a frame with a black border around it. And then I want you to change the picture that's inside the frame. So rather than it being like you're looking out through the windscreen, I want you to change it like that you're looking in on yourself. So rather than being associated in the memory, this is called like a disassociation. So you've got to see yourself at that time. So maybe it's as if you're looking through the windscreen and you can see yourself holding on to the steering wheel. Good. Next stage. So you've got a black and white picture. It's in a black frame and it's of you. You can see your face. You can see yourself. You can see your upper body. Okay. Then half it in size. And then when you've done that, half it in size again. And then take it down to a diagonal corner of your visual screen. It doesn't matter if it's diagonally left or diagonally right. Just drag it down to a bottom corner of the visual screen that you're seeing at the moment. And then I want you to push it away from you till it's round about, maybe the size of like a 10p piece or something like that. Just keep pushing it away from you, pushing it away until it's about the size of like a 10p piece, five or 10p piece, right? And when it's there, I want you to very quickly flicker it so it goes black, white, 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 and do that maybe around about 10 to 15 times. So what you've done is you've started to change up the visual component of this memory. So when you go back into the original memory now, or you try to get back the original memory, you'll probably find that it's changed in some way. Then the next thing to do is to do exactly the same with a different memory. Like I said, you could have used the first, the worst, and then the most recent. So you've got 3 different memories. Do the same exercise to 3 different memories. Okay? And then what will happen over the next few days is that in that driving is dangerous file, the other files that are there will be corrupted. Okay? So then because you've corrupted the files, you won't get the pattern match when you drive in that scenario. Okay, so that's a really simple and really effective way for you to overcome your driving anxiety.